advertised today. I'm so mad.
I I put it out, I believe, on Monday, but
I forgot to remind people on my channel.
yeah, I meant to do that today too, and
Well, wait, maybe I did, yeah, but yesterday. Yeah,
I
I
did
know I
it
didn't do it
on
today.
Monday. Um, but I meant to put out a reminder and I forgot.
Well, I know I did this right because I remember looking at it going public.
I did it. I've done it too. It's so weird because normally, apps will keep somebody's here. Normally, an app will save what you did the last time, but it doesn't seem to do that
Mine
with.
doesn't. Hi,
Hmm.
Amanda.
Hey, Amanda. I got water tonight. Big water.
Oh my gosh.
I did a lot of work today, so
Hey,
I
Riley.
need to. I
Riley
need
has
to.
been on my YouTube for years and years. We're talking going back, well, when there was Onni, so 9 years.
Oh wow.
We share our favorite bird is Eric the Legend.
Oh yeah, Eric the Legend is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Bird Love, Lori,
Hi,
Michelle.
Michelle, I think.
Hey, Service Dog. How are you?
So you have a big water. I have
Yeah.
blueberry wine.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I have
I almost
blueberry
had a
wine
baby
tonight.
beer, but I changed my mind because, like I said, I drank like 3 cups of coffee trying to keep my energy up while I was cleaning today. And then, so I had to drink. I need to really pound on some water. I'm sure I'm dehydrated because it's cold here and I was pouring the sweat today. So I had a busy day.
Are you getting the snow?
Mm-mm.
No.
Just rain and it's cold.
Is
Um,
it south of you or north of you or both?
um, I believe the snow.
Mm-hmm.
The snow's north of me.
Okay.
Um, it's in like Ohio, Chicago, I believe, and might be moving up to the New England states. I'm not sure. Um,
Is there
yeah,
bad weather behind it for us, like a chance of, tornadic
I'm
things?
not sure. I think this store. So we're supposed to have a pretty nasty like rainstorm in the morning.
Or are you?
Um, from like 6 something to like 9ish, I think. And the way it looks, the band looks like it's going on up and it'll go through Atlanta, which I know if it goes through Atlanta, it usually gets to you, doesn't it? Because you're not
Yeah.
too often far from Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. We're 2 hours.
Yeah. We are too, like 2 hours ish, depending on traffic. But we have been through Atlanta, but we not never been like in Atlanta. So
Hi, Leonie. Hi, Marianne.
oh, 35, Leonie, that's cold. You're from
Hi, Lori.
Australia, right?
Oh, really?
Mm. I think Leonie's from Australia. Am I right?
How about everybody types where they're from? What state?
Um, by the way, I want to congratulate Rebecca, who is a huge Eagles fan, on the Super Bowl win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Celsius. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it was 35 degrees Celsius for
Big
Leonie.
Philadelphia parade is Friday. All the schools are called off. Some of the work is called off.
Yeah, I bet.
And hopefully they
Yeah.
won't climb too many poles. I
Yeah.
don't know how that ever got started, but it's a Philly thing. That's
Oh,
what they
yeah.
do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Climb
Yeah.
poles, take signs.
I um I didn't know this before, but Hurst, I think is his name. He played for University of Alabama, and then
Yeah.
finished his last year um, at Oklahoma. I'm a big SEC fan. I mean, I root for the Gators first, but I always cheer for the SEC.
Hertz
Except
has a
when,
lot of class.
hmm,
Hertz has a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
class.
seems like he does. Yeah,
Mm.
so that was. I don't really watch the NFL a whole lot anymore. I'm real into college. Um, I like college football, college softball, and baseball. Yeah.
I think college football is a little more creative.
Mm.
I don't
The
know.
rules are different though, and don't totally understand football anyway. I mean, I know a touchdown, I know a field goal, I know, um, but um, I don't understand the entire game. I know what a pick six is. Um, there were at least one of those, I think, in that game, wasn't there? Maybe been two. But
Yeah,
yeah, I thought it was going to be a really good game, but I didn't know. I never would have guessed it was like a blowout like that.
nobody would have.
Yeah.
Seeing them play though, I think even if the Chiefs were pretty much on their game, I still think they would have lost. Watching
Mm,
how we played and everything, and how
mhm.
they just couldn't stand up to our defense. We just plowed right through them and got to Patrick every time.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
there's nothing Patrick could do.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody came up with a good game plan for sure.
I was very surprised that how high Philly scored.
Yeah.
That's where I think the Chiefs failed. They just weren't holding us or anything
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely I felt like the Chiefs were having a bad game in comparison to what I've seen them, do
Mhm.
before. Again, I don't watch a ton of now Ken watches tons of football. Um, but I'm like I said, I'm more into the college and things like I love high school football. I
Do you?
love to go to yeah, I don't really like, to leave the house a whole lot, but I love going to high school football games. I'm watching the marching band and yeah, it's just fun. I think I would probably like sports like that a lot more if I attended because I think live games are fun, you know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm still like trying to look for a school around here to like support and go. I used to do like sports photography, so I did a lot of the photography. It was a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
yeah, where's
Well, somebody
Condo? I don't see Condo.
somebody yeah, where's Condo?
Yeah, he's gonna be in
Huh.
trouble.
I have to find him. He knows it's tonight. I just talked to him about 30 minutes ago.
Mm, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Somebody asked how Ani and Sunny is. So I guess we should tell everybody how Buster is
You go
and
ahead first.
Earl and Percy.
Mhm.
Sunny's somewhat in bed. He's real flexible with us. He comes out at night usually, 'cause, that's when Ani goes to bed at 6:30, and that's
Mhm.
Sunny's time that he can just really be out the whole time and eat dinner with us, but when nights like tonight, he kinda goes to bed earlier, but
Mhm.
he wakes up a lot, though. I mean, when Scott comes home from work, he'll wake up some to say hi and everything, and then, Ani is just being Ani.
Mm.
He's just hanging out and everything,
So it's a
so
full moon. So all of mine were whacked today, and actually, I put them to bed early. I actually got Buster to go up. I have a little trick with Buster where if I, when I go to the dollar quarter store, I buy extra little scrubbies and not necessarily. Well, I could do it with a scrub daddy too, but scrub brushes and stuff that he loves or a toothbrush. I keep them put away. And if I get a new one out and I toss it in his cage, he will go into his cage. Because I didn't feel like fighting with him to telling him to get in and all that. So I did that
yeah.
and I just put him up and then he just started screaming. Because, honest to goodness, Buster is not much of a screamer. Um, so I had to make him go up early. And actually, he ended up getting covered early because he was just being unreasonable. So, um,
How do you get him in the cage like, normally?
I mean, a lot of times I can tell Buster just to go in the cage and he'll go. Um, but not on days like today. So, I mean, I would have to towel him or get
Yeah.
some glove. I have like some gloves.
Ah,
He's not going to just stuff it. So he'll stuff up with me some. But the issue then is he doesn't want to step down or step up, whatever, like,
that's when sometimes Ani will bite me is after I'm putting him in the cage and I go to
yeah.
pull my hand away, I have to be careful because that's when he'll nail me sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. But I can tell he's being weird because Ken said he did when he put him up last night, I had to run an errand, and when Kim put him up last night, he said he pinched him. He like got
Oh,
a hold of him on the chest and he did the pinch.
the warning
Um,
pinch. Yeah.
yeah, so he doesn't really do that to him very often, but it is a full moon, so I don't know if it's completely full, but it's somewhat full. So
Does Percy go to bed early?
not so normally that's like our time. Like me and him have time in the morning and time in the evening. A lot of times when King gets home, um, I will he'll sit out there with Buster and I come in the room and I hang with Percy. But I was still so behind on the work that I had to get this stuff done tonight because we have deliveries coming tomorrow. Um, that I had to put them all up and get everything done. So, but I did finally get everything done. So that's good.
Does Earl go to bed early?
Earl does go to bed early because of his well, Earl is like he wants a certain amount of time and attention, and then he lets you know when he's done, and when he's done he wants to go to his little like travel cage, and you play
Um,
a fan noise for him and leave him alone. That's what he wants. Give him a couple peanuts and leave him alone. So hey
Gray's
Blake,
just
how
so
are you?
independent. It's nice how independent Grays and Amazons are.
But he gets very overstimulated, if you try to keep him out with you all the time, and then he starts screaming. um,
Really?
Amanda's
Okay.
heard him, especially like when I'm on the phone. I've had to make several phone calls this week for different things, and I have had to close my bedroom door and my office door, and they can still hear Buster with my headphones in calling me mama, mama, mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been, like I said, he's been a little bit screamy anyway, but sometimes he'll get like that around the full moon. So, yeah.
Well, we had said we were going to talk about what? Just a couple. We were just going to piddle around.
Yeah, well, I sent you the little coochie
Yeah.
list up. Yeah. Okay. And we were going to try to go through like just 5 interesting kind of facts, I guess they said, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and some of the stuff I didn't know, or never really thought about, but
Yeah. What didn't I know?
the
I,
one I didn't know, I think, was on number 2.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
didn't know number 4.
Just small. Yeah. Oh, almost let it out.
I thought parrots are considered omnivorous. Well, I thought parrots were vegetarians. I thought they just ate nuts and grains and grasses, and so I was kind of surprised to see that.
Hmm.
But I guess they would insects, they eat some insects. I was going to say when
Hmm.
you're eating fruit and stuff off a tree, I imagine you're going to get some kind of protein, you're going to get some kind of bug
Hmm.
in it.
All my parrots like mealworms. They eat
Oh,
mealworms.
really?
Yeah, Percy really likes them. Um, yeah, so they eat the mealworms. Um, and I don't remember who told me that. Somebody told me like their parrot like mealworms, and so I looked it up, and it's like, yeah, they're completely fine and healthy for them. And so I started mixing a little bit into their food, and they seem to like it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I
people.
think I did see that today, Leonie. But I know, if I'm not mistaken, lorikeets are mostly on a nectar diet, right? Am I right? Because I think a lot of
Yeah,
people get them not knowing that, and I think they end up dying because they don't get enough nectar. I'm
yeah,
pretty
their
sure.
diet's real tricky, and their
Hmm.
poop is not fun because they eat so much like liquid.
Hmm.
Their poop,
Oh,
they actually
yeah,
shoot it. It will
yeah.
actually shoot.
Oh gosh, it's like
So
having a hog. Oh, great.
I
Yeah.
imagine that's a big surprise for owners when they
Hmm.
first bring them home.
Bird or service dog, Buster loves meat. He's not as big into seeds as most birds are, and he absolutely will chase you down for meat, especially bacon, which I don't, give him a whole lot, but he does eat some. And he's such a busybody that he needs, I mean, birds in general are busybodies and need a lot of calories, but where he doesn't like a whole lot of seed, he has to get his protein somewhere. And so we try to keep it, like to chicken and things like that are healthier, but he
Yeah,
is
I was
some,
told Ani's breeder told us to definitely give him a little chicken and give him
Mhm.
especially the bone with the
Yeah.
marrow in it.
So it's not like with dogs where, well, dogs actually can have raw bones as long as they're not cooked. But I know I don't do it because I don't do a raw diet. But once a chicken bone's cooked, a dog cannot have it, but a bird can. A bird can have a cooked chicken bone. It doesn't hurt them. And the only reason I know that is because Buster grabbed one and took off with it one day, and we couldn't get it, and I was freaking out. That I mean, because we do compare them a lot to domesticated animals like dogs and cats.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was freaking out. So I start looking it up and realize that actually they're good for them. They're good for their beak too, to trim
Hmm.
their beak. So,
I didn't think of
yeah.
that.
hmm I actually try to give Buster like a chicken bone like once a month, but I put it in his cage, like in his night bowl. That way I
Yeah,
don't have to worry about him tossing it and one of the dogs accidentally getting it or something like that. So,
I wouldn't have thought of that.
mm.
Sonny loves chicken. Loves chicken.
See, Perky won't eat it, but Kondo mentioned tuna, and he does love tuna and some fish.
Oh,
But I
you
haven't.
can do that? You can give him
Mhm.
that? I didn't know.
Well, I'm not going to give him any right now because there's a nationwide thing
Oh,
recall
yeah.
on a bunch of tunas, so I'm not doing it now. But
Why is there a warning or recall out for tuna?
botulism,
Oh,
yeah, it's mostly I believe Kroger, Costco, and someplace else. Somebody in the chat might know.
okay.
Um, yeah, they can have spaghetti. They actually can have cooked and hard pasta. They
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, but beans, they can have beans, but they cannot have dry beans. That can kill them. But they can have cooked beans. Cooked
I've
beans are
never
really
been
good.
able to get Sonny or Ani to eat actual beans.
Have you tried refried beans? Buster loves refried
No,
beans.
no,
I
I
have to
haven't.
put a little cheese on it. So I'm waiting until it's like the
That is a
day
good
that
idea.
give
I
him a
know
little
Sonny would
cheese.
eat that because it's
hmm
soft.
Now, does Sunny like eggs? All my birds like
Yeah.
eggs. Earl doesn't eat them as often as Buster and Percy will. Of course, that might have to, yeah, because we're going to start having egg lottery. I think I'm going to start locking my chicken pen with a deadbolt. A little worried somebody's going to try to steal them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buster likes to eat eggs with Dad on the weekends, and Ken always gives Percy some too. So yeah, Percy loves pasta as well. He really loves cooked. He doesn't like it dry, but he loves it cooked.
Yeah, it's
But,
common. Birds
mhm.
like rice too.
Mine don't. Buster will eat rice with something else, but he just won't eat rice. Um, Earl's really picky. Earl barely eats anything that's food related. He just wants seed, but that's it. And I've even tried not for a long time, but like withholding his breakfast a little longer. Withholding the morning's seed or whatever, and he won't
Yeah.
do it. So every now and then he'll eat a little bit of a grape. He'll eat a little bit of an egg. Um, and I think he's nibbled on some cheese one time, and that's it. He just won't
He
do it.
just doesn't eat pretty much he doesn't eat anything but his parrot food mixture.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
dried vegetables, dried fruit. It's got a
hmm
little bit of everything in it, but you try to give him a treat or something, and it's hard to talk him into it. I've had say yes to carrots and apples and a grape that I've peeled a little bit, started for him, and, really that's it. He usually turns things down unless
hmm
it's like oat milk ice cream.
Yeah.
He'll gobble that
Now
down.
Buster loves peanut butter, Which, I mean, you
Yeah,
have to be
like
careful what kind of peanut butter you give them, but I can even make peanut butter because I have a Vitamix. Um, Percy is, I mean, what he likes, but you know, he he I keep trying like broccoli, carrots, all these. I've even mixed it in with cooked pasta, trying to kind of trick him, and he's not having it. He's just not having it.
luckily my bearded dragon is vegetarian and eats insects as well. And he I wouldn't call them omnivores really, because the insects are just like just an additive once in a while. When they're adults, they eat vegetation. When they're babies is when they eat all the bugs. They change
Hmm.
their diet when they get to be like a year old.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, they go from 80% bugs to 80% plants by the time they're like a year old or whatever.
Hmm.
So for some reason they need all that protein, and I don't know why they don't continue to eat that, though they will if you let them. um, it bugs,
Hmm.
they're like, once they're adults, it's like candy to them. And a lot of people have trouble getting them to eat their greens because of that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's neat that they eat similar things as the parrots,
Hmm.
because
True.
whatever I mix up for the birds, I can hand to him,
Hmm.
and he gets stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. It's funny, my daughter I just saw on my computer, it came up. She texted me about the recall. That's why I looked over at
Oh,
my
really?
computer. Yeah. She's really good about keeping up with stuff like that, but yeah.
Which daughter is that?
My oldest one, Amy.
Huh.
Yeah. She sends me all kinds of like good stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, they can have celery. Um mine's never really eaten it. Buster will occasionally eat the seeds out of a cucumber, and he kind of likes to lick on the cucumber because it's like water. Um, but he's not very good about celery. Cooked celery he will, because he likes to eat like chicken noodle soup that Ken makes, and he'll eat like cooked celery, cooked carrots. Hey, Mockingjay. Um, yep. I
Well,
mean, he'll eat more of what Ken eats. That's his
do your
thing.
birds drink tea?
Yeah, mine do. Herbal teas,
Yeah.
chamomile. All of them like chamomile. I'm trying to think, but when I first got Earl, it wasn't a tea, but I mixed lemon balm. What else? Lemon balm and something else in his food because lemon balm is a natural pain reliever, and his beak was in such horrible condition. Um, and the next day he was chewing on a almond shell. Because I
Mhm.
remember when he was trying to get at that, I was like, he's going to be okay. He'll
Yeah.
make. He couldn't even preen himself. He was in such bad shape. So yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Sonny doesn't drink any teas, but Ani does. His favorite is the chamomile, though, like you said.
I think I see a lot of them drinking chamomile tea, so it must be something that tastes nice to them.
Yeah.
Um, it's a calming tea too, so I think that's the one most widely used. If you ever have a chance, like you see lemon balm, or I'll send you a couple of mine to try because lemon balm is also a relaxing tea.
Oh, is it?
It helps with pain, but it also is relaxing, and um, I know a lot of people drink it when they have a migraine, and or it's good for fever, but it's safe for the birds. They can have it. So I'll have to send you a couple bags of it and let you try it.
Now, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
That would probably this would probably lead to your parrots eating with feet as opposed to
Yeah, we
regular.
were going to talk about that. Yeah. You know what's funny? I always compared, I always used to say their beak were their hands and then their feet were their feet. But like after reading some of this, I realized really their their beak and their feet are their arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're kind of both. They're kind of their arms and legs in a way. Um, because I never had thought of it that way until I read some of this stuff. Um, can you say that word? So they have four toes per foot. Most of them have four toes per foot, each ending with a sharp claw, which reminds me of a rooster's talon.
I do, but I don't have it on my sheet. It's on the other link.
It
So I
starts
know
with a
what you say,
Z.
where dactyl is in the last part of the word.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I
dactyl
think it's
meaning
the cutest
digits. And
thing. Yeah, I think it's cute. Like when Buster gets on one of the gates and he's eating something, and he has his little. I think it's the cutest, most adorable, like fancy looking thing. I think it's so funny.
it amazes me they can hold a dot in that
Yeah.
big clumsy foot.
And
Just
it'll
a
they'll do
just a
that
dot,
thing. Yeah.
and
He'll
somehow
hold the
balance it in the
tiniest
air.
piece of a raspberry and just eat it. And I'm like, yeah, it really is amazing when you think about it. And it makes them unique in the way that they climb, it said too. And I mean I knew that, but I had never really like thought about that, you know.
Yeah.
Um
So feet are like human fingers.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I had never thought about their feet being their hands as well. Because like if sometimes when you get bit by a parrot, it's not because they're being mean. If they lose their balance, they use their beak to
Touch themselves.
and then
Yeah.
usually that results in a bite. That's happened to with Buster with one of my daughters. When we were trying to get him to be able to fly, he, haphazardly flew onto her, and he was started to fall, so he bit her ear to balance himself and messed her ear up pretty bad.
Does Percy eat with his feet or no?
I have never noticed that he eats with his feet. Does Sonny?
He never did, and then in the last several years, he eats with his foot.
Huh. That's
Yeah,
that's
he never did.
interesting.
I don't know what started him up on it. He's
Hmm.
20 now,
Hmm.
and I don't know how many years it's gone on, but the first part of his life, he never ever used his foot.
Hmm.
So I don't know where he learned that. And I'm trying to remember my parrotlet. I think my parrotlet used its foot, and if it did, maybe that's where Sonny learned it because they were buddies.
Hmm. My budgies that we had, they never did, and Earl doesn't, but I think it would be too difficult for Earl to try to hold something in his foot because his feet are damaged and
Yeah,
try to balance. Because I know even yesterday he was balanced, he was turned around and he was holding up one foot, and it looks really funny. And I know Amanda had asked me if he was okay because of the way, but he just looks like this crooked thing. And then he was kind of house wasn't cold, but we went from 80-degree weather to 40-degree weather in a 24-hour period, less
that
than
feels like
24 hours.
Colorado weather.
And
Funny.
40 degrees here is cold. I mean, it really is. Um, but so the house wasn't cold, but I think just going from that heat to that, you know what I mean? He was just like, I am over this. I am not having this. So,
Hi,
yeah.
Dennis.
Hey, Dennis. Um, I thought do you have the same one I do? What's your number one? Is it some parents can use tools?
No, my number one is how long of a lifespan that they live.
Oh, okay. I have the different one then. My bad. So I'll just go
Oh,
along with
that's good. That's no, that's good. We have more
um
information.
with
So your number one is what?
some parents can use tools. I thought
Oh,
it
let's
was
talk about
interesting
that.
because Buster he genuinely tries to use items. Like he's always when Ken is doing something, he'll pick up a screw and try to they put a cage together one time and he was trying to put the screw in the hole.
Yeah,
But they also use it for other stuff to like pulverize shells. Like they'll get sand and try to like help pulverize some of the shells that have nuts in it. So I thought that was interesting.
Arnie
But
tries to
yeah,
use things for like he tries all different things to try to open up locks. So
Pretty good at
he'll
it.
pick up a little piece of cloth and he'll use it around the lock.
Hmm.
Then he'll try a toy. Then he'll try a stick, and
Hmm.
he gets obsessed with doing that.
Buster
I
does
feel
that
bad for him
outside.
because they don't work.
Mm.
I'm like, just one
Yeah,
time, I want him to work for him. I feel bad for him.
Buster does that outside. In the aviary, he'll get a piece of like his wood off a toy, and he goes over to the lock. So the aviary lock, we have a, a stainless steel like chain lock on it too, but so it's originally a dog pin, so it has two pins,
Hmm.
and he can get the one pin open, but he can't get them both open. His beak is not big. A macaw could do it, but his beak doesn't go out far enough to open both of them. But he totally understands that lock. And hey, tutus. Um, so it's amazing to watch him. But well, we always joke that he's making a shank to come after me later. But he really is like trying
That's
to use it
awesome.
as use a key to get out of. I have videos showing it where he can get the one, but he can't get the other. So um, yeah, every cage company says bird proof. They're liars. Buster's got out of a few of them.
What I get
I have.
frustrated at is those the puzzle toys are very expensive, especially the ones with the bulletproof plastic or
Mm,
whatever. So expensive, and I can't tell you how many I've brought home. And Ani doesn't do the puzzle. He'll figure out how to pop something open and do it that way.
mhm.
So it's like a waste of money.
Yeah, Parrot toys are not cheap either, so that
Yeah.
makes it kind of hard too. So look here. Oh, let's see if I can show you. Oh, I can't show you. My
What are you
dog
going to
is like
show us?
my dog. Come here, Max.
Oh,
Come here.
is it
Come on.
Bobo?
It's Max, but Bobo heard me call Max, so here, there he is.
There he is.
Yeah, Bobo's right behind him now because he heard me call Max. So yeah,
That
he's my
nose
boy.
needs to be booped.
Yeah, he's my boy. Huh. Yeah.
My number one was their lifespan. Um, the average parrot lives 30 years. So I know my little parrotlet, that's what it's supposed to live is 30 years.
Oh,
And
really?
even though he's little, I thought he was the littlest. I thought parrotlets were the smallest parrots in the world. That's what I had always read. But then when we looked at our information, it
Hmm.
said no, there's a some kind of bluff face or whatever pygmy parrot that's even smaller, which I can't imagine. It's 3 inches long. Parrotlet's pretty teensy.
Yeah, I can't. So I think what I did was I printed because we went over two of them. I think I printed the wrong one, but I
No,
remember
you're
reading.
right one because we have different stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought the parrot was. I mean, finches are pretty small too, but are they a parrot or they're just a regular bird, aren't
I
they?
think they're just a regular bird. They're
I
not
think
a
so
citizen
too.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
They're not
true.
a
Yeah,
hookbill. But
right.
it seems
Yeah.
like the smaller the bird, the shorter the lifespan. Because I was really
Hmm.
shocked when the parrotlet was 30 because budgies, it can be as low as 10. You
Yeah.
know, they're
Yeah. I
funny
know
little
there's
critters.
some of them that even lower, but the way
Yeah.
that they're so massively bred, if you just get, I think genetics will start playing a part in that kind of stuff when, just like dogs, when you overbreed them and, or, it just happens. And just a lot of people buying willy nilly on a whim and they don't realize you can't use Teflon pans and things like that too.
Yeah, they're
So
so delicate.
yeah, yeah. So I think that happens a lot.
Mine
Um,
died young, and I don't know why. Mine were somewhere around 9 or 10. So
mm,
I don't know why, because I also know people that have them for 15 years,
oh
you know?
yeah. Where I used to go to the vet, that vet tech, she had a budgie. It lived to be like 23, and she said that was the oldest budgie she had ever had. Somebody had just dropped it off one day, and she took it,
Mhm.
and it had just died. And I thought she said it was in its 20s for sure.
Yeah.
Cockatiels are kind of all over the place too, I think. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard of
Talk to
them
people
being
where they die at
15.
between 12 and 15, and
Yeah.
then I've met people like Condo to where they can live to 30, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that Percy is not 4. I'm pretty sure he's 21. Yeah.
Mm,
Judging by his band. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. Um, but
Moluccan cockatoos live up to 80 years. All the cockatoos live.
yeah.
They're pretty old. I think the Goffins are shorter. I think the Goffins are 40 to 50, but
Hmm.
your bigger cockatoos much longer.
I
You'd
know
be
that.
surprised how long 30 years is. Because I
Oh
thought
yeah.
when I got Sonny, I thought, "Oh, this is good. He won't be living too long and
Hmm.
be stuck without us if something happens with us." And here it's 20 years and he could have another
Hmm.
10 for all we know.
Yeah.
So I always wanted another cockatiel someday, but that's not going to happen at this point,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Um, talk about the emotional needs in birds. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
they are
this says there is a correlation between size of a parrot's brain and how long it lives. The larger the brain, the longer it will live. Aha. I didn't
really.
see that earlier. Yeah, I never
I
heard of
didn't
that.
know that. I didn't either. That's a new one. Um, huh. I'll have to look. Oh, well, here's some water.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Appreciate that.
So I wonder, could somebody mention this today? I can't remember who. Somebody on, they said something about bird brain is not true. So I wonder how that term, that makes me think back about that. I wonder how that term bird brain came to be. You
Because
know what I
Anna wants
mean?
to know. Yeah, because Anna
Because
wants to know about the emotional part
yeah,
of the
yeah.
brain.
Hmm.
I can tell you that what is it, monogamous or whatever. They get bonded to one bird for
Hmm.
life. Death do you part.
Everybody wants to see you.
And we know that the cockatoo's intellectual, something called an intellectual IQ, and it's supposedly several years old.
Hmm.
I don't know what that is or how you measure it. So they are really emotional.
Oh yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, I mean Buster like eh, very and needy. They're also emotionally needy, like more so than I think even. Well, like we've discussed, Greys are a little more independent and
Hmm.
oftentimes moody and grumpy. At least mine is. Mine's old, um, but Buster is so emotionally needy. There was a day that I had to go. This rarely happens, and this has been a few years back, but we were going away to an appointment, and we were going to be gone all day. And just like my kids, I'm always very honest, like with Buster. And I told him, you know, we have to go step out for the day for an appointment, but you're going to be okay. You have your toy. He had like a severe, like cockatoo meltdown. Like, because again, Buster doesn't do that a whole lot. He's usually pretty good,
Mm.
and he had a meltdown to the point that it scared me because he had done that once before over. I mean, he was just having a fit over something, but this was because like he emotionally understood what I was saying to him that he was going to be alone for the day, and it
Yeah.
upset. And so now I'm a little bit more careful of how I choose my words a little bit better. you
Mm.
know. So, but yeah, what was the next one? You got another one?
What do you have?
Uh, I had one about what's the part? I can't find what it goes with. So I just got a new um I don't know which one it goes with, but so after dogs, cats, and fish, birds are America's fourth favorite pet. Over 7.5 million pet birds live in households across the United States, estimates the American Veterinary Medical Association. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Um, yeah. And then they get them and they're like, why did I do this?
Yeah, yeah,
For cockatoos, anyway.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, I already talked about how they have a single mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. He's, I heard you can't leave cockatoos as they freak out. Very needy for sure. That's true. Yeah, Buster will scream and have a fit. I had to step out one morning and somebody was stopping by to pick something up. And I told the person, I was like, if you hear somebody screaming and screaming help or mama, I am not neglecting a child. It is my parrot.
they
Oh,
parrots are, it says, one of the few animals that can mimic human speech. I'm glad they say one of the few animals because crows and ravens, they all speak really well,
mm-hmm,
creepily well. So I'm
mm-hmm,
glad they didn't say just parrots. They didn't say what other kinds can imitate. Oh, it does. Mina birds was one. And then, of course, what I said, the crows and ravens. Um, but they say the parrots are best at producing clear human words. Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen videos of crows and mina birds speaking
oh,
eerily well.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
I
there's
just
a
read today that crows will hold a grudge up to 17 years against somebody they feel that did them wrong.
wow.
Yeah,
I've
which I
heard
knew
something
that.
about that.
They also have funerals for their dead. Um, there's also the Native Americans are really into crows. Um, yeah, it's like part of
I can
their.
see why now.
Yeah, they're. I try. We're gonna make a crow bank because we want crows to live outside here so bad.
Here's some other animals that can say words similar to humans. An Asian elephant called Koshik that they have,
Really? Huh?
a
That I
beluga
didn't know.
whale, a beluga whale named Nock, and a harbor seal named Hoover. Those three animals can
Really?
talk.
Huh. I wonder if that's where Baby Beluga came from in the Deep Blue Sea. Do you remember that song? My kids had to
Yeah,
sing the benefits, and that was one of their songs. Huh. That's fun. No, I didn't know that. My dogs mimic like my dogs don't really talk, but they make sounds. And Charlie will howl, and it'll sound like he's saying "I love you."
yeah.
Um, yeah,
When
but
you see dogs saying mama and definitely
mhm,
copying I love
yeah.
you, isn't,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I've heard her say
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, he's done that one too. Or he's done another one. I just said yeah, I can't remember. But my since my Max has gotten older, when he lays down now, he makes these noises and he goes like it's like he's growling. Because my friend had called me and she's like, is what is that? And I was like, that's my dog. And she's like, you need to record that. That's hilarious. Um, so, um, but yeah, I mean, they
That's
don't talk
cool.
like a parrot or a human or anything, but it does, like Charlie does this noise and it does sound like he's saying, I love you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Does
So
Percy talk?
Percy talks a lot. Yeah.
What's he
Not like
say?
Sunny. He says, Percy the bird. It's so special. And it'll or just Percy the bird. And then he says, I'm Percy and I want to play with you. I want to
Oh,
play with
wow.
you. Yeah. And he'll go, do you want to scratch? You want to scratch? Pika Pika and Pikachu, Peekaboo. Um, he sings tequila all the time. And we're working on Adam's family now. It's
That
really
going?
cute. It's going well. He does the clap. It's really cute. He does like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cute. And, so my daughter's heard him do the Nickelodeon theme song. but I haven't heard him. But oh, you want to step up? That's right. He does say that. He'll say, "Percy the bird." He'll say, "You want to step up? I want to play with you. I want to play."
I didn't
So
know
he's
he said all that. Gee,
mhm.
that
Well
is really good.
when he gets on a roll, like it's just like nonstop. Is he say like I think he's saying hi, I'm Percy. I want to play with you. I want to play. I want to play. You want to scratch? You want to scratch? It's really cute when he gets on his little. He's got like this what do you call it? It's almost like a recording, and he just
Yeah,
goes through it, and
like a
then it
broken
always
record.
yes, and then it always ends with him singing Tequila. So that's his favorite song. Yeah.
How did he already talked when he came to you, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. He sang Tequila. He already talked. Now he does say Earl now. It's not real plain, but I do know that he's saying Earl. In fact, Earl will tell him now to say Earl, and it's pretty funny.
What does
So,
Earl say?
a lot of cuss words. He calls people jerks a lot. He likes to call people. I'll ask him sometime like, "What's the word of the day?" And he'll go jerk. Um,
And Buster, of course, was already talking when he got.
well, I mean, at first there was just certain things he would say that we would pick up on. Now that we've had him a long time, even Ken picks up on things. Like he just said, um, always say Buster's a classic one-liner, but he really, the more and more here, more so recently, he really is like in context. Like Ken one day was cleaning their heater and he said, "Do you want to help?" And Buster's like, "I do." I mean, just very
Yeah.
plainly. And then one day my son walked by and he said, "Hi, Buster." And he went, "I don't like you." And he loves my son. But like he's just been doing these little like one-liner things that are context, like they're appropriate. He's kind of like a smart aleck. Um, but I know Ani says Alexa, doesn't he? I can't say it right now. And
Yeah.
Earl is saying that
Alexa,
now.
he gives her orders. He orders it. He's ordered stuff, and he tells her to fart.
Hmm.
And um, what's he say? He says, "I love you, peekaboo." Um, I am forgetting things. I'm drawing a
He
blank.
says
He does.
hi really well, doesn't he? Doesn't
Yeah.
he say hi really well?
Hi,
Because Buster
hi,
does too.
hello, hello, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for reminding me. And it's been a long held debate with experts as to whether parrots are capable of language instead of just mimicking. And a lot of people that work with them say they can grasp language, like you said with Buster.
yeah. He really. I mean, it really amazes me. Like I expect that out of Earl. Like I'll give you an example. On Sunday, I had to go to town for an errand, and I said to Ken, I said, going to town on a Sunday when church is letting out, lunchtime, and Super Bowl Sunday is the dumbest thing I've done in a while. And not missing a beat, Earl went, mm-hmm. And like he's like that. He will answer things and say things, but Buster does respond, and he is doing it more and more so recently. And I miss a lot of it. There's several things he has said in the last couple of weeks that have really would have really been mind blowing, and to be able to show people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sonny,
yeah,
I don't know how Sonny picked up some of his language. I don't know. I guess because he's smart. I
he
taught
sings
him to speak
songs
by
and
mimic.
everything. Yeah.
I taught him to speak mimic wise, and I think because I put context to what I'm doing is maybe
Mhm.
why. So when I enter a room, I don't even say anything, and he's like, hi, you know,
Yeah.
hi,
Hmm.
and if it's Scott, hi, Scott, like that, which we didn't teach him that. And
Yeah.
what else does he do that's in context? What are you doing to get you to talk to him?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of other things, but he's definitely capable of using a little language and not just mimicking. And that kind of shocks me, having being such a little bird with a smaller brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
That really shocks me.
Sonny is one of the smartest cockatiels I've ever, because like I'm pretty, doesn't he sing actual songs, like not just whistles them? He says lyrics, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't remember, was it a Queen song? I can't remember what's.
He sings a song I made up. I had ferrets, and ferrets poop a lot. They have fast
Hmm.
digestive systems. Um, they're they have to eat meat. They can't digest anything else. And so it goes through them, the protein, really quickly. So they can be up to every 2 hours, they'll poop. And it's like a small dog, so it's a lot. And I
Yeah.
had up to 9 ferrets at one time. And it could be, you know, it can be a lot of work.
Hmm.
I go down twice a day. The family, somebody would go down and clean all the litter pans and everything. And it was such a drag. I'd go in there to get myself pumped up so I didn't feel like it was work. I'd sing to them. And I made
Hmm.
up this song, All the Pretty Parrots Sing, la la.
Oh.
And I'm like scooping and scooping, all the pretty parrots sing. And I'm like, la la la. And I'm like scooping this shit.
Yeah.
But to keep me sane. And Sonny used to sit on my shoulder when I did that, which is bad because a ferret could get him, but I was stupid. And
Oh, you're not stupid.
I
Don't
used
say
to
that.
scoop I used to scoop the litter pans with him on my shoulder. And so that's why he picked up that song. But he
Oh,
knows
that's
the whole
cute.
lyrics. I'm trying to think, he does another song with the lyrics, but I can't remember
That's
what it
just
is.
remind me too. Ani sings la 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 la. Yeah, his la la
Yeah.
la. Yeah, I love when he sings la la la.
La 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 la. He
Yes.
also Scott taught him la 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 la. What's
Oh,
the banana
cute.
split song?
Hmm.
So he tries to do that.
So Buster is on a big Debbie Gibson kick. He loves the song "Foolish Beat," and I even have a video of him where he's saying he is actually singing lyrics with it. Um, and so I've been playing it for him every day. I'm just happy he's like out of his Katy Perry phase. I actually have a video where I asked him if do you want to listen to Katy Perry, and he says no. But I haven't posted it yet. But I got to go through my phone and find it. But anyway, every time I start that song and I'm not videoing, he says I love her, and I'm like, I've got to get that on video, because he said it twice today, but I didn't have the video on. But I'll turn on Foolish Beat and he'll say he loves her. So it's really cute.
People ask me how I got Sonny to say all that. And I think the most important tip is to add an action or put it in context so they
Hmm.
remember it and something can click. So say hi only when you're entering the room, and just
Hmm.
do it. Don't just say hi. Say hi, hi, hi,
Yeah.
over and over all day. When you enter the room, do
Hmm.
that. Um,
That's true.
so I
And
always
keep doing it.
he does bat bird,
Oh,
and
yeah. Hmm.
cockatiels naturally, when they're excited, will throw their wings up.
Hmm.
So I put a word, a cue to it. And that's
Hmm.
when he throw it up and I go bat bird. So now on command, when I say bat bird, he throws his wings up and
That's
says it
cute.
and
That's
says it.
cute.
So that's
Max
the biggest
talking.
tip I can give people, is to put a little context or
Hmm.
a visual cue or
And
something
do it
to it.
every day. Continue to do it. Keep
I
doing it.
recorded myself saying stuff on the computer, which is right next to him. And then whenever I went out, I'd have it it would play on a loop, me saying
Hmm.
hi and leaving long gaps so he could talk back and
Hmm.
everything. So I did that too.
Yeah, that's good. It's 25 after. Do you want me to go ahead and give my little bird speech?
Yeah.
But the chickens.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
it's already been 54 minutes. Shit.
can you
I'm
believe
sorry.
it? No,
Sorry.
but you're out of wine, so you're probably like, let's go. Yeah. Um, so I saw an article the other day that, because of the bird flu, a lot of people are actually starting to keep chickens, which really excites me. So, and if you guys are really looking into getting chickens, please look into what they call a victory garden, and try to add that as well. Even if it's just container gardening, whatever you can do, just try to grow something for yourself this year. If I can encourage you to do anything, it's that. So I just wanted to go over really quickly if any of you guys are thinking about getting chickens. Um, Even like, we're in county, but we're in the city to me, and we're allowed to have chickens, but always check your zoning areas. Um, so if you want to get chickens from little baby chicks, hatchlings, the very first thing you want to do is make sure you have something they can stay in. They need a heat lamp, and you're going to keep them somewhere warm for 6 to 8 weeks. We usually use a dog kennel, but I saw a design today with they took two kiddie pools and then they cut a top on it and put a fence and then put the little red heat lamp on top. The reason they
Mhm.
have to have a light, they have to be warm, and they have to eat. They're awake like 24 hours a day until they get a little bigger, and they constantly have to eat and drink water. So you want to have that. But even though you're going to keep them in a container or kennel or somewhere for 6 to 8 weeks, please already have a coop in place. Chickens need about 8 inches to perch in a coop. You need about 8 inches per chicken, so they don't require a whole lot of space for sleep. Um, just really quick, best layers, in my opinion, if you get on the interweb, they're going to tell you some different things. And this is for eggs. I'm not talking about meat production. Meat production, although one of the ones I'm going to list is a good meat and egg bird, but for the most part, I'm just talking about these glorious eggs that are 50 cents a piece right now. Um, so my top five are Rhode Island Reds. They lay brown eggs. Leghorn, they're a white chicken. They lay white eggs, but they're very reliable. Once they start laying, they'll lay pretty much every day for the first few years. A Wyandotte, which is really a buff Orpington, they lay brown eggs. An Australorp, they lay dark brown eggs because they're a black colored feathers. They're beautiful. Um, and a Plymouth Rock, also known as a barred rock, they lay
Okay.
brown eggs. They're great. Check your so if you guys want to have roosters, you have to have at least 6 hens to have one rooster. And so if you have 12 hens and you want roosters, you could have two roosters then. If you have less than six, they're going to end up having pluck feathers and roosters oftentimes pick one favorite hen. So you kind of got to watch that too because they'll, you know,
Do you have to have a rooster?
you don't? No, I don't have a rooster here. I'm allowed, but I don't because I feel like it's where I live. It would be
Yeah.
loud. I like to
Oh,
have
they are
roosters.
loud. There's a house 2 streets over down the road,
Hmm.
and they have a couple roosters, and you can
Hmm.
hear them through the woods and on a
Yeah.
deck. We laugh because I think it's hysterical,
Hmm.
but
I
they
don't.
go they crow all day.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, but they definitely crow in the morning. There are things you can do to make it quieter. But and I'm not judging anybody that does it because if you have a lot of chickens, you do need a rooster, especially in times like this where people are probably going to be trying to hatch them. So I'm not judging, but for me right now anyway, it's not something I'm going to do. But I had roosters in Ohio. I had a really sweet rooster actually. I called him Big Roo and the Sister Wives. Because when we first started, we had like 8 chickens and we had one rooster. So I called him Big Roo and the Sister Wives because they were all his little women. So um, but anyway, another tip is join groups. If you're on Facebook, join some chicken groups. Um, eh, Chicken people like to help you. They can be judgmental on Facebook groups. So I just try to ignore them. There's no wrong questions to ask. Somebody's going to tell you you're doing it wrong. Somebody's going to tell you you're doing it right. Just, go with do research and go with your gut. But also, you guys can always email me. I'm not a chickenologist or anything, but we've had chickens for quite a long time, both for eggs and meat. So I'm always here to help. And
What if you like the little banny hens and the silkies and stuff? I know they lay eggs, but is it very
they don't
few?
lay as much. They're tinier. They're bigger than a quail egg, though. Quail eggs are actually my favorite, but that's for another day. But we had a little Banny. She laid maybe once a week, but she was our
Oh,
girl.
that's all? Okay.
Yeah, and some of them will lay a little more, but she didn't lay much. But buddy, she could handle herself with the big girls, even though
Really?
she's just a little thing. Yeah, and I had a silky. I'll tell you something interesting about silkies in a second. They, in my opinions, maybe it's just the ones I got, they were sassy. They were really sassy. So silkies have a different color of bones. And when I first processed a silky, and let me tell you, I did it because it was the meanest hag, and it could not. The reason somebody gave it to me is because it was tearing up their other chickens. They didn't tell me that. I brought it home, and it was fighting with all my chickens. So in that case, those noodles taste really good when they're like that. But anyhow, I didn't know this, and so we're processing it, and the skin is a very odd color, and the bones were a very odd color. So
The
I'm
bones are
thinking,
too? I know the skin's like black, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fine. It's fine, but the meat itself is fine, but their bones. But tribally, they used to use them like tribals like thought that their bones were like magic. They thought they were like had powers and they
Hmm.
used them in like spells and different things. And I never knew that, but that's a little fun fact there. Yeah. So,
Can we
um,
talk about chickens again on your channel next week?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think
I
your
know.
viewers, because this is fun. I think your viewers would like it.
Um, Chip keeps asking me to show a little more in depth of when we clean it and like do a video of you know, their coop
Yeah.
and all that. And so I really kind of want to expand on that on my channel as well because people are really getting interested in keeping chickens. You know, and I'm not getting like political or anything, I promise. But during World War II, the government encouraged you to keep 2 chickens per person. And
Is
they
it?
also encouraged you to make victory gardens, they called them. And they actually sent out seeds and people grew seeds and back then too, more people foraged food like dandelions, forage, things like that. So maybe we'll just have a chicken and victory garden thing on my channel next
I would
time.
love that. I would
Okay.
love that.
Yeah, you guys, if that sounds good to you guys, we'll do that. I mean, of course, we'll give updates on how our boys are doing, but I think that would be fun, and it's kind of an appropriate time to do it. So,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is.
So,
You guys have any questions before we go or anything? Or anything you want to say? Roll the bones.
little chicken clothes. Yeah. Actually, we have my daughter one time harnessed a goose. We had a goose that was mean as a snake that we rescued, and she loved my daughter though, and my daughter used to walk around the yard with a harness on because she would try to attack us if not. Um, and my daughter's put harnesses on chickens a lot. I see that a lot actually. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah. So not next week, but the week
I will,
after. But
Lori.
we'll put it out on our channels. Um, so, but if you guys have any other ideas, let us know. And
See you next
I'm
time.
so proud Rebecca didn't freeze.
Give a little dab.
Yeah.
No, but
So cheers, everybody. And Rebecca's empty
yeah,
cup. Rebecca needs a refill.
yeah, we
Thanks,
got to go
Amanda and
now. It's
Service
time to
Dog.
refill.
Yep. Thanks, Amanda and Service Dog. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you
Thank
in a
you.
couple weeks.
Bye bye.
Bye.